Good afternoon, Frank Ehrhardt, John R. Wood Properties, Christie's International. It is the first week of October, and I wanted to give you an update on the latest in the Southwest Florida real estate market for the period ending September 2024. So let's jump right in and take a look. So overall, our sales prices are down about 6%, and the time to sell is up 27 days from last year, getting close to about 60 days right now. Take a look at this next graph. Active number of listings are up 24% from last year, and the sales for the month are down 20%. So both of those are for both Lee and Collier counties combined. And so let's take a look at the individual areas here. Let's start with Cape Coral. So Cape Coral, right now the sales prices are down about 4%, and the time to sell is up about 17 days. We're right around 50 days to sell on average. And so if you jump over to the active number of listings on this next graph, active number of listings are up 13% from the prior year, and sales are down about 16% from the prior year. And so jumping over the bridge to Fort Myers, if you look at sales prices are down about 5%, and the days to sell are up 24 days, somewhere around 55 days right now on average. And so, and this one's probably the most interesting of the graphs that I'm going to share today. So this is Fort Myers. So right now, the active listings are up 25% from a year ago. That's a big increase. And then our sales units are actually down 29%. We only sold 319 units in the month of September, which is the lowest that it's been in 10 years. So that's a really interesting trend. We'll see what happens here in November. I do anticipate that through the election cycle now, it is going to be pretty slow overall for all of the markets that we're covering. And so jumping over to Sandcap, sales prices are down about 17%, and the time to sell is up 70 days. It's about 111 days, so almost four months right now for Sandcap. Active listings are up about 12%, and sales are down about 21% for the month of September. And then finally, looking over to Fort Myers Beach, average sales price is down to $492. There's not been a lot of activity, and so I didn't really compare year over year. There was a big sale last year that really skewed that up quite a bit. It was over $1 million last year. It's under $500,000 this year, but again, relatively few transactions. Time to sell up 53 days. It's looking at about three months right now on Fort Myers Beach. And then finally, active listings up 51% on Fort Myers Beach, and then the sales are down about 27%. So a very lackluster month overall for all of the areas that we cover. So what's driving the market? So first of all, obviously, as most of you know, we just finished up a hurricane here, Helene. Not too much damage in Southwest Florida. Some of the low-lying areas on Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, Cape Coral Yacht Club all took on some storm surge. Other than that, fairly non-event for our area, fortunately. Obviously, areas up around Big Bend got hit quite a bit harder, and then even more devastation in the North Carolina areas. And so it's an interesting point. So this first headline, Hurricane Helene, Collier County dodged a bullet with giant storm, what to know? So we did. That could have easily turned right, just like Ian did a couple years ago. Insurance rates. So what is this storm going to do to insurance rates? And so I've said before that if we had another storm in Florida this year, that would have a negative impact on insurance rates and possibly sales for 2025. One of the things that we haven't really talked about is we have a lot of, they're termed halfbacks. And so these are folks that move from up north down to Florida, and then they go halfway home. Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee areas. And so I'll be very curious what the trend looks like now that the halfbacks may have to think twice about the safety of the Carolinas and Georgia, Tennessee with the devastation that they saw. The only good thing I can say about hurricanes down here, we have a lot of notice. Typically, if you're really terrified of hurricanes, you can leave. You can leave a week in advance. You may not have had to, but you certainly have that ability. I was watching time lapses in North Carolina. These people had a couple of hours from the time that their little stream started running to just completely overtaking these towns and giving no notice at all. And so insurance rates are going to go up in Florida, I anticipate, but I think they're going to go up nationwide. So we keep continuing to have these natural events, whether they be wildfires, flooding. Fortunately, the West Coast has not had an earthquake in quite some time, but there's virtually no place that is safe. I was talking to one of my good customers a couple days ago, and he was telling me Michigan is number one. If you want a safe place, safe from natural disasters, it is Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful state, but it's cold in wintertime. And so lastly, the thing that impacts our market a little bit here is interest rates. And so interest rates right now, if you look at this last graph, under 6%. So that is the first time in probably a year and a half that they have been under 6%. We are seeing activity on the lower end here. First-time home buyers are jumping on these lower rates. A lot of the new construction homes on for entry level offering unbelievable discounts. So if you are looking to get in entry level wise, fantastic time to do so. If you're looking to buy this season, again, I think it's going to be pretty quiet here the next 4 or 5 weeks. I think we need a cold snap up north. Right now, where I'm from, it is still another beautiful afternoon there today. But once winter comes through, I think that will increase our activity down here. So that's the wrap up for the month of September. Frank Ehrhardt, John R. Wood Properties, Christie's International. Any questions, please feel free to reach out, 239-896-3437. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.